ready for me to start the timer?
Yeah.
Okay. You're the professional here, not me. Okay, and we're rolling.
Hi guys, my name is Vincent Whatley, and I'm class of 2022. And this is my story. So, I have to start off with how I even came to KWC. When I was in high school, my family especially have always been involved in the church. Many of my family members are in the church. My grandmother's my pastor actually. And when I was deciding what college to go to, I had in my mind that I'm going as far away as possible, and I'm going to a school that has nothing to do with Christianity, which is kind of funny because I ended up being a campus ministries intern. So I'll get to that. When I was applying for schools, one of my coaches, he asked me to apply to KWC for a scholarship that they had. And I said, I've never heard of KWC, I've never heard of Owensboro. And I said, I'm still going to do it though. So I just applied thinking there's no way I will hear back from them or anything. And when it came down to picking colleges and where I wanted to go to, I knew that it was going to be a hard struggle, just financing college and what typically everybody goes through, just financing it and knowing how to pay for it. And it was getting close to graduation time at my school, and what ended up happening was at the very last minute, I remember this day, I was in my car and I was just praying. I was like, God, I don't know where I'm supposed to go. I don't know where I need to be or how I'm going to pay for college. I can't pay for it. My family can't pay for it. So what am I going to do? And quite literally that day, I got an email and a notification saying that I received a scholarship to come here. So me not ever being to Owensboro, I decided to come here, and it was an experience. I oftentimes felt discouraged, and I was kind of sad that it was a Christian school at the time, but I said, you know what, life is what you make it, so I'm gonna still go anyways. And so I decided to just do whatever I had in my mind, that I wasn't going to go to church out here, I wasn't going to do anything involving Christianity, but for some reason, and I say for some reason now, but I know it was God ordained, I decided to go to chapel. And I remember I was sitting on the front row, and after that, after the service ended, it was really good. After the service ended, the campus ministries director, he asked if he can speak to me. And I talked to him, and he recognized some things in me that I didn't recognize in myself, and it just encouraged me to really not try to ignore this spiritual aspect of my life. And so that's how I became an intern at campus ministries, and that's where I was able to fully integrate into not running away from my calling and trying my very absolute best to be the man that God called me to be. And with this came many things, actually. It caused me to have to rely on God and have to walk by faith and not by sight. There was many situations where I had no idea what I was going to do or how I was going to make it. And every single time, through going to G groups and through prayer, joining the prayer circles here at KWC, it strengthened me and strengthened my faith to believe that God was going to make a way for me out of no way. And I was involved with this for about four or so years, and this eventually led to me being able to actually, in my job process, just believe that God was going to find me a job that I wanted and that I actually really liked. And again, I didn't expect it to be in Owensboro, but here I am. And so that's really where a lot of my faith aspect came into this. And getting this job, I realized that too was an act of God, because it was always something that came out of the blue, unexpectedly. This job, the offer came to me when I was driving down the highway, praying to God about where I was going to work and if I would even have a job after I graduated. And at that exact moment, or what I like to say, a God moment. They offered me the job, and it was everything that I could have wanted and more. And even with that, provisions came on like how to travel back here, how to have a place to live. All of it was supplied. And these are all the things that make me realize that God is truly in my life. If I hadn't been to a level of faith where I was able to believe that God was just going to do it, despite not having the finances, despite not having the resources to do so, I would have honestly just like packed it up and gone home. But because of my faith, I was able to stick it out here, and it made me realize that no matter how far you may stray from God, or how you might think you have a plan for your life, God always has a plan for you. And even if you don't accept it at that time, eventually you'll be able to come to terms with it. And you'll be able to not just have a good life, but be a testimony unto others. To tell them that God is real, that God is still out there working miracles, and that He is still alive. I'm Vincent Whatley, and this is my story in 7.